Apple just implemented a giant change that completely collapsed Facebook. The company of Mark Zuckerberg lost its biggest weapon, access to user information. And the company of Zuckerberg responded by introducing a new tax fee, which is almost 50%. And Tim Cook responded to this situation and critiqued Mark Zuckerberg for limiting users to make more money. In addition, Elon Musk commented on an ongoing Apple lawsuit with the European Union and said that Apple tax should be around 10 times lower than it is right now, and it cannot continue like that. And within this mess, there are a lot of leaked information about unfair business practices that Apple and Facebook are making public about each other. This is a very interesting story, so let's explain it. Apple and the parent corporation of Facebook, Meta, are at odds once more. Apple said that the decision lays bare Meta's duplicity, since Meta recently revealed plans to take a roughly 50% share from several developers selling digital items on its metaverse platform, Horizon Worlds. As part of a rivalry that has lasted years between Apple CEO Tim Cook and Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, Apple and Meta have been at odds about the percentage of revenue collected from digital platforms for months. Apple deducts 30% of purchases from its App Store. That includes app revenues, which have an effect on Meta's profitability across the family of apps it manages, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. The producer of Fortnite, Epic Games, sued Apple in an attempt to get this regulation changed, and Meta openly supported Epic. According to reports, Zuckerberg himself stated that the rule enables Apple to levy monopoly rent on app developer profits. Apple is now criticizing Meta for adding its own fees to the sale of digital items on its platform, some of which can be as high as 47.5%. According to Apple spokesman Fred Sands, Meta has regularly criticized Apple for charging developers a 30% fee for in-app sales in the App Store. He said that Meta wants to charge the same creators much more fees than any other site. Significantly, Meta is collecting additional fees for revenue produced on its metaverse platform, Horizon Worlds, and on its virtual reality headgear, the Meta Quest. Only creators who sell digital items within Horizon Worlds on the Meta Quest platform will be charged a 47.5% fee. This is due to Meta charging a 30% sales fee for items sold on the Meta Quest shop, and the developer paying an additional 25% fee for items sold through Horizon Worlds, out of the remaining revenues. According to Meta spokesman Cameron Mumtaz, in order to balance the cost of their Quest devices at retail, the business levies a 30% fee on its virtual reality Quest shop. Meta is making up for the headset's cost by charging developers a fee for the items they sell. The suggested retail price for the Meta Quest headset is $299. According to Mumtaz, their strategy is to expand the VR industry by releasing inexpensive devices. This income is essential for sustaining a reasonable headset sale price. In a series of tweets, Meta CTO Andrew Bosworth reinforced that opinion. According to him, Apple keeps a big margin on its products and captures 30% of the software market. He added that they have used their market dominance to advance their own commercial interests at the expense of developers. Moreover, Tesla CEO Elon Musk agrees with Andrew. In light of a recent Twitter post regarding the European Union's new antitrust claim against iPhone producer Apple, Musk stated that this is clearly not okay. He went on to compare the commission to a 30% internet tax. Last year, when gaming company Epic Games filed a suit against Apple for supposedly exploiting its position in the mobile apps market, Tesla CEO Elon Musk showed public support for Fortnite maker Epic Games. In a series of tweets, Elon Musk disagreed with the App Store commission rate, calling it literally 10 times higher than it should be. He was responding to an article that had reported his former company PayPal's possible role in spurring the latest European Union's case against Apple. In July of last year, Musk said that Apple's 30% payment to developers was unreasonably high. He had also criticized Apple during Tesla's earnings call a week prior, calling its technology ecosystem a walled garden. The difference between Apple's Cook and Meta's Zuckerberg, who have frequently fought over the years, is at the center of the argument. Cook rejects Meta's core business model, which exchanges free access to well-known platforms like Facebook and Instagram for user information that is then used to market tailored advertisements. After months of complaining about Apple's maximum 30% share for transactions made through the App Store, Meta has announced that it would charge a roughly 50% commission on digital asset purchases done inside the metaverse. New options for creators to commercialize and profit from the metaverse have been unveiled by Meta. One way it does this is by facilitating the sale of non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, by developers on its Horizon Worlds platform. In the article, Meta omitted to say how much of a cut it would receive from those transactions, but a company representative informed CNBC that it would be 47.5% commission. which would include a 30% hardware cost and a 17.5% platform fee. A representative for Meta stated that the company will retain up to 47.5% of the total amount of each transaction. For purchases made through the MetaQuest store, where it offers software and games for its virtual reality headsets, a hardware platform fee of 30% is also charged. Additionally, Horizon Worlds will impose a fee of 17.5%. The almost 50% fee is a fairly competitive rate in the industry, according to Vivek Sharma, Vice President of Horizons at Meta. He added that they believe in the other sites being allowed to have their cut. Ironically, Meta has publicly criticized Apple's 15 to 30% App Store cut, as has firm CEO Mark Zuckerberg. After 2023, Meta would declare a commission that was smaller than the 30% that Apple and others take, Zuckerberg wrote on Facebook in June. Until then, Meta would maintain paid online events, memberships, badges, and other items free for artists. A few months later, in a different post criticizing Apple's practices, Zuckerberg said that the App Store cut reduces options for creators to generate money from their work. Facebook frequently criticizes Apple's App Store for being monopolistic and damaging to users, adding that it limits innovation and hinders competition. Apple's App Store charges a 15 to 30% fee. 2020 saw a public conflict between Apple and Meta, in which the Cupertino tech titan rejected an upgrade to the Facebook app that emphasized the 30% App Store charge. Apple's comments come against the backdrop of legal action being brought against it. The App Store costs of up to 30% commission, according to a complaint brought by a group of French developers, are excessive and intended to stifle competition. A group of French app developers, including Société de Figaro, the company behind the Figaro News app, and L'Equipe 2424, the company behind the L'Equipe Sports app, filed a lawsuit against Apple, alleging that the company has abused its dominance over the distribution of iOS apps. This is the same basic claim Epic Games made in its unfruitful lawsuit against Apple. According to reports, the complaint contends that Apple abused its monopolistic control over the distribution of apps on iOS-based mobile devices by requiring only one app store for those devices, allowing Apple to charge developers $99 a year in licensing fees and up to a 30% commission on App Store purchases for 14 years. They claim that these costs are supra-competitive and that Apple's business strategy discourages innovation and limits customer choice. The group argues in the report that Apple's activities are tailored to eliminate competition and that there is no acceptable business need or pro-competitive rationale for Apple's behavior. The lawsuit allegedly makes reference to an earlier, successful lawsuit brought by Hagens Berman against Apple, which resulted in the latter paying $100 million to iOS software developers last year over essentially the same allegation. As previously said, the lawsuit closely resembles that made by Epic Games in the free Fortnite campaign, which resulted in Apple's triumph in a well-known court battle last year. The common criticism is that Apple's iOS App Store is the only channel for users to download apps. These applications must also use Apple's in-app purchase mechanism, which sends a portion of every transaction to Apple as a commission for hosting on its platform. While certain nations, including as the Netherlands and South Korea, have passed laws requiring Apple to let developers to provide alternative payment systems, the business still levies a 27% commission fee on these transactions. The business has consistently argued that it should be permitted to get commission on purchases made of digital products and services using devices like the iPhone 13, and the court agreed with this claim in the Epic Games case. According to remarks made by Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta, Meta and Apple are approaching a phase of extremely profound philosophical struggle that will determine the digital future. Over the next 10 years, Apple and Meta both want to make significant investments in mixed reality, but they have quite different ideas of what the AR, VR, XR environment should ultimately look like. According to a leaked audio tape of an all-hands staff meeting at Meta, Zuckerberg provided a thorough response to a query from a staff member on the company's potential rivalry with Apple. His remarks provided some insight into the competition, at least from Meta's perspective. He believes that it is very obvious that Apple will compete with Meta, not just in terms of products, but also in terms of philosophy, which is why they are taking an open approach and working to create a more open ecosystem. He mentioned that Microsoft and Meta created the Metaverse Open Standards Group together in order to ensure some sort of asset transfer or interoperability between virtual environments. Zuckerberg was unsurprised that Apple declined to participate. He called it a battle of ideologies, and Apple feels that by handling everything internally and tightly integrating, they can create a better user experience. And according to Meta, there is still more to be done in terms of specialization among various organizations, which will enable a much larger environment to flourish. After the desktop and mobile eras, the next major computer platform, according to Zuckerberg and Cook, will either be augmented reality, virtual reality, or mixed reality. And according to Zuckerberg's statements, although Apple will unavoidably continue to maintain a closed ecosystem with its Mac, desktop, and iPhone, mobile, he envisions Meta playing a more flexible role similar to that of a Windows or Android for mixed reality. Well, that's it for today.